Hey, what is up, everyone? Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler, gonna do another What Sold on eBay this week. We're gonna go right into it, and we're gonna talk about pretty much like what I sold on eBay, and I pretty much like picked a few listings that sold, and we'll go over it. We'll go through what was going through my head, what the prices I paid, if I can remember, and some of that stuff. So once again, I'm Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. Thank you for being here. If you are new to the channel, please click the subscribe button. Click the notification bell if you want to be part of the notification squad. Every time we go live, you'll be able to be here first in the chat room. And we're actually going to jump into the chat room and make sure that everything is good. We got Lou Hustles. Yo, how you doing? How you doing? Just to make sure that everything is looking good. We're looking good. We're looking good. So yeah, I had a pretty good week last week. I don't think I did too many sales last week. I think I might have done one sale for like 30% off or something ridiculous like that. So definitely that. We got Oh Shiny in the house. Happy Tuesday. Everything's all good. So let's get right into this. And so basically what we're going to do is we're kind of checking out what's sold on eBay. We're going to go through it bit by bit and tell you a little story. It'll be like story time. First up, we have this Sony DCR VX2100. This is an older camcorder. These were actually really popular in the early 2000s. And I want to say like a lot of skateboarders and like extreme sports people love these cameras because you were able to like hold them. At one point, these cameras were, I think the retail on these things were almost like $2,000 when they came out. So I wish I found these back then. They were in pretty good condition. And I say they because I actually bought two of them. I actually sold another one, I want to say like 3 weeks ago. I paid $50 for them each, and which I actually paid up on that. I probably could have got them for way less, but there's this one particular person that I go to who calls me when they get stuff in, and I go and check it out, and I give them reasonable prices. I probably could have got these for way cheaper, but anyways, I paid $50 each for these. And the only problem was that I had to buy batteries and chargers for these things just to even test it. So the crazy part is I actually paid $50 each on these blindly without even testing them. So that's another thing that was probably a dumb idea, but it ended up working out. So anyways, like I said, I had to buy a battery and a charger for these, and luckily for me, the aftermarket stuff was only like I think the charger was like 8 or 9 and the battery was like 8 or 9. So it came as a lot. I put it all together. What was cool is both cameras actually came with a bag. So it had a camera bag, and some of them had some accessories and stuff in there, which was really cool. The only problem is if you guys ever come across these cameras, and let me see, I'm going to jump in here real quick. Let me see if I took there's like a tactile switch that's like a scrolling switch. I wonder if I got a photo of that in here. Okay, yeah, right here. You can see it says sell push down here in the bottom. It's like a little scrolling wheel. Every one of these I've ever came across, the wheel is a little buggy. Like, not the motion, but the way when you look at it on the screen, it wants to jump and stuff. So those are always buggy. I think over the years, the connections are bad. But it's also, what's crazy is it's a tactile switch. So you can push it in and stuff like that. So when you lock in a mood, so that was the only thing that was really cosmetically wrong with it was, or not cosmetically, like actual function. Everything else worked good, and I tested these out. I actually thought about keeping one of these because they're actually really cool for filmmakers and stuff like that, because they have a really specific look to them. Like, they're really good quality camcorders. So if you guys can actually find these for under $100, definitely pick them up, especially if you're a video guru. They have this very specific look. It's almost like a Blair Witch kind of, like, it's good quality. It's not quite it's SD, but it's really good quality, and it's got this grainy look to it. Anyways, certain filmmakers actually look for this particular look. And it had the hood. It had the eyepiece. Everything was pretty good, so it was actually a pretty good deal. I could have probably got it for less, but anyway, sold this. Took a best offer for I think it was like $230. Less than 24 hours after I listed it. I had to wait for the batteries and stuff to come in the mail. And so yeah, this was a quick sale for sure. People buy these things. I ended up sending it UPS, so that was that. And anytime during this video, if you guys who are in the live chat, if you have any questions, please leave it in the comment below. Nick the Islander says he just sold a Franklin Mint softball classic for $110 plus shipping. Wow, that's awesome. Sports stuff is good. So yeah, look out for Sony camcorders. Look them up if you're at. See, the thing about, here's the thing about electronics too, is like you can't really test them usually on the spot. And as a pro tip to anyone that wants to do this seriously, you can buy portable power units for like $100. I have a diehard one that's amazing. I don't think I have it in here with me. I'll show you guys. I have like a diehard unit. Put them in your car so you can test stuff like this on the spot. A little bit of a pro tip. Next up, we have this vintage 1997 Formula One skateboard by Spumco. This is another thing. There was like an animation kind of event at a thrift store like not a month ago, maybe like maybe it was a month ago. And they had a bunch of animation stuff, and there was like a lot of this Ren and Stimpy stuff. Some of the stuff you guys saw me do a picking video on this. And I did a video on vintage skateboards, and I'm gonna actually leave a link above here right now. You'll see it on the back end. It talks about, it's a know your stuff about vintage skateboards and stuff like that. And vintage is like 90s also now, which is kind of crazy. I feel a little old now about that. Oh, Nick Dylan was saying that it was a Harley Davidson diecast. Yes. Oh, Softail. I thought it said softball. Oh man, today's been crazy. Well, anyways, the skateboard, yeah, I paid $20 for this thing, if you can believe it. I had it sitting for about a week. I took a best offer for $80 plus shipping just to get rid of it. It was a quick flip. I probably could have got more if I would have waited, but the thing is the condition wasn't that great. I'm going to tell you guys a few things since we're here, a little bit real quick about what to look for when you're buying vintage skateboards. You want to look at the deck. You want to look at the top part. Make sure it's not all rusted out. The graphics are going to be something that, you know, a lot of collectors like to look at. This one happened to be scratched up, and of course it was, you know, noted. The wheels will also have graphics on the inside and the outside usually on some of these vintage skateboards. These ones, the graphics happen to be all scratched up, as you can see here, which is unfortunate because, you know, if you get a mint condition vintage board, it can, this board, I probably could have got $200 for this board, or $300 or $400 if this was a brand new board. Also, you want to look at trucks, make sure they're not all rusty and crazy. And yeah, so like this thing was actually pretty kind of, it wasn't beat up. It was in good condition. You guys might think it looks like trash, but it was actually in good condition for being a skateboard. It looks like it had some wear. People actually used it, whoever this was. But, you know, $80 plus $30 shipping, not a bad sale for sure. Boy Gospel's asking, do Beanie Bears sell good? I think you're referring to Beanie Babies. Some of them do. And as a matter of fact, on the back end, for those that are watching about Beanie Babies, I'll leave a card up above about know your stuff Beanie Babies. And Boy Gospel, go check out my video on Beanie Babies. It's in my my video listing somewhere. It's a know your stuff, so if you go to that playlist, you'll be able to see it. And Beanie Bear says he just got 30. Yeah, some Beanie Babies are pretty good. Next up, we have this Lunatics Unleashed. I just bought a huge collection of sealed DVDs this weekend. It was actually a couple days ago. Some of you might have saw that video. I'll actually leave another card above here. I got 3 cards. I actually should be noting this down about that release. I paid $1 for this. I ended up taking a best offer for $11.99 plus $1.99 shipping. This is a quick flip. It's one of those things where I paid $1. And these were going for around $18. They were going for that much, but, you know, $11.99 a quick flip. I only paid $1. I'm not, you know, I do this part-time. I'm not seriously going to be waiting on this stuff forever. And a lot of what I heard is the eBay algorithm rewards fast turnaround instead of like how much stuff you have in your account or how much stuff you have in your listings. So if you have like, you know, 5,000 listings, as long as you're churning over the stuff really fast, that's what eBay rewards, or at least that's what I heard from the inside ball there. Next up, we have a Samsung remote. I just did another video on this. You probably would have saw it in the last video. It was with those DVDs. I always buy remotes for $1 or less if they're in good condition. I also look inside the battery compartments, make sure there's no corrosion. You can actually clean that stuff out with, I usually use like rubbing alcohol or Windex, and I've even used, what do you call it, like white vinegar, and like just all kinds of stuff to get that stuff if you ever see it, you know, really messed up. And but also look in there if you can find these for less than $1. Make sure they're not all jacked up. There's a way to test these too, and I might make a video about that, how to test these on the spot. With also having that portable power unit in your car, also have like batteries, like maybe a little toolbox with all kinds of little tools and batteries and stuff, so you can test stuff on the spot. There's a way to test these, and it didn't work on my new phone, but on older phones, if you just point the what do you call it, the front of it, it's like a, I forget what it's called, it's like a UV kind of channeler thing, and you put it on, you put your camera on and you turn it on and you press it, you can see a little bit of flashing. And I'll make a video about that at some point. But anyways, I bought this, sold this like literally 24 hours later for $9.99. I paid $1 for this at a church rummage sales. Nick Dylander was asking, I can only list 5 items. How can I list more? I think if you're new, they limit you to how many you can list. So just be patient. I've been on eBay since 1995, so that should tell you how patient I've been with this whole thing. They used to not be like that, but now they put strict restrictions because there's so many scammers out there that'll start new accounts, sell something for $1,000 or less, you know, and then just leave. So they do that for, you know, it's one of the safeguards. So anyways, remotes. I'm big time on remotes. It's probably one of my top 10 bolos for sure. I always pick up remotes. They sell pretty well. Next up, we have this Eye of Judgment Skeleton Archer blank back promo. I actually used to be a what did they call me? I was like, I don't want to say it was an ambassador, but I was actually helped Sony online with this game when it came out. For those that don't know, Eye of Judgment is an amazing game. It's based off augmented reality. For those that don't know, it's an amazing, amazing, amazing game. And you can't play it online anymore, unfortunately, because you can play against other people. But now you can still play against a computer. People still buy this stuff. Well, anyways, back to, I used to not work for Sony, but they would send me stuff and I would do testing and stuff. So I got these were test cards for Series 3 that came out. And these were actually going for a pretty good amount of money when this game came out. And they ended up sending me when they went when this game went out of business, but they stopped producing the game. They sent me all their promo cards. I literally got a huge box of promo cards, and I actually pretty made good money off of this over the years. This is probably from 2009 or 2010 I've had these. So anyways, I sold 3 of these, $30 to someone, I forget where they were. I want to say they were international. So these will ship first class, flat rate, international. And there's a lot of good cards in this series. So if you guys find Eye of Judgment cards, take a look at them. There's some really rare ones that are worth a pretty good amount of money. And there's also some beta cards that have gray borders that are worth hundreds of dollars if you can find those. They're pretty rare, but you know, they're still out there. People are still looking for those. Hey, 19 Vintage is in the house, man. How are you? We're doing a live show, what's sold on eBay. And anyways that don't know, go subscribe to 19th Vintage, who's in the chat right now. He's an amazing guy. We're going to be doing lots of stuff in the future. We've been brainstorming. We got lots of great ideas, so there's going to be that. I think 2018 is going to be spectacular as far as what 19th and Vintage and I put out as far as content, so look out for that. So Eye Judgment, look out for it. Next up, we got Fisher Price Imagine X Spikes Ultra Dinosaur Replacement Battery Cover. I'm also a huge lover of parting out things, especially some rare things. The Spiked Ultra Dinosaur is actually a really cool thing. It's like a big remote controlled dinosaur. And while we were moving, we ended up throwing out a bunch of stuff. So I actually, you know, the kid didn't play with this anymore, my son. And so I was like, oh, I wonder if this is good for anybody. So not only did I sell this, which was a, you know, just the battery cover. I also sold the battery. Look how much I got for the battery. $37.99 just for the battery. And this was something I was going to throw away. So another pro tip for everyone who's watching, not only toy batteries and toy covers, battery covers, that stuff's in demand, especially even like remote covers for some parts. But if you ever see stuff like electronic toys on the side of the road and stuff like this, like Fisher Price or Power Wheels or anything, you can actually take the batteries out of Power Wheels and sell those too. There's ways of testing it, and everyone should invest in a battery tester and all that. I had this toy, so I knew it worked, and we didn't really use the battery too much. So there's that. But anyways, there's good money in replacement parts. And I actually probably should have put replacement part in the title. Anyways, next up is a lot of Lego food thingies. I buy large collections of Legos. I haven't bought a large collection of Legos in a while. I haven't really seen it, and I haven't really been looking, actually, so there's that. What I do is I'll take the Legos, I'll separate them, because you know when you buy a large collection of Legos in a box, there's usually all kinds of random crap in it. Random toys, broken candy wrappers, just broken stuff. So I usually spend like hours literally going through Legos and stuff like that. That's a whole other story for a whole other time. Yeah, 19th Vintage is saying parts in general sell for good money, and I definitely agree. Hey, Tracy Thrifts is in the house. Welcome, welcome. So anyways, what I do is when I separate my Legos, I have different types of boxes or little bins, little plastic bins, little Tupperware containers and stuff like that. And as I'm going through this, I'll separate the minifigures to the regular blocks. And also, when there's specialty pieces like accessories and food items, they go in their own little special box. And when I get enough of those, eventually, I do this. I sell a lot of them. This actually sold for $11.99 plus free shipping, which isn't too bad. Especially when you pay like $40 for 50-pound box of Legos. Just like literally like an ounce worth of Legos is almost a fourth of that payment. So there's that. So yeah, definitely look out for Legos. Next up is Ren and Stimpy. This was a Jimmy the Idiot Spunko. I've been showing you guys this. I've actually sold 4 of these so far. I paid $1 for these. These are pencil toppers from the 90s. And what's great about these is, like I said, I bought a huge box of these. There was like 30-something of them of different styles. And this has been the most popular style of Soda Pop. I guess that's the female character's name from this cartoon comic, Jimmy the Idiot. And as you can see, there's the stock photos of what it looks like. It's a pencil topper. These are all brand new. I saw these. They were $1 each. I worked out a little deal for the whole box and pretty much walked home with these. This was actually bought on a blind kind of whim. And Tracy Thrifts is saying, my 6-year-old Landon asked for a shout out. He's having lunch and watching with me. Hello, Landon. How are you, buddy? Hope you're enjoying your lunch. I just had some toast and some water for breakfast, so I'm doing good on that end. But hello, Landon. Welcome. So next up, we have these 10 Commandment coins. I was selling these for 99 cents each. I actually bought a Ziploc baggie full of these. There was like 50 of them, and I paid like $1 or $2 for the whole bag. They actually had some pretty good weight to them, and they were kind of like challenge coins or Alcoholic Anonymous kind of tokens. But anyways, someone bought them all. I think I took a best offer for like 20 something for the whole bag. And actually, no, for 45. I actually sold 5 to a gentleman like a month or 2 months ago. I've had these in my store for a while. And so like when I saw the best offer for 45 for like, I don't know, they wanted like 50 cents each for them, I gladly took it, especially for paying $2 or $1 for the bag of these things. Another pro tip for the guys that don't know is Alcoholic Anonymous stuff goes for a lot of money. Just look up the books. That's all I'm going to say. Next up, we have this David Bowie shirt. I paid $1 for this, and it was super beat up. I'm surprised someone bought this, but I guess there's a whole style of people that love to wear kind of music shirts. And, David Bowie just passed away last year, I think, and this was a kind of an older shirt, but there's a lot of people that wear this kind of stuff, and even though it's all beat up and chewed up, people still love it. I think I took a best offer for 11 something plus $5.99 shipping. Not a bad flip for $1. I don't buy clothing too often because it's not my thing, and I really don't like clothing. But I will pick up jerseys and certain shirts and things from time to time. I will pick up jackets and stuff from here and there and ties and stuff. But For the most part, I don't like clothes. I find them extremely boring, but I know people make a lot of money on them, so I'm not knocking that. It's just for me, I do this part-time. If I was sitting like having to list a pile of clothes every day, I would just like want to pull my hair out. So there's that. Next up, we have this money do-it-yourself blank DIY custom figure from Kid Robot. I've had these listed for probably a year. I sell them every once in a while. Every couple months, one will sell. And what I did is I actually bought these. I actually bought these to customize. I'm an artist and I do some of this stuff. And what I ended up doing was they had a closeout on these, and these were like $2 each or something ridiculously low. So I ended up buying like all of them they had, and I'm still sitting on a few of them. It looks like I sold 7 and have 6 available. And yeah, there's that. And sold this. The only thing I hate about this is, and actually it's free shipping. I should probably change that since this is one of my older listings. The box is such a weird shape. It's not a huge box, but it's such a weird shape that this thing doesn't fit in like any normal sized boxes that I have laying around. So I always have to like Frankenstein a box to ship these things. So there's that. When you're buying stuff, make sure you know you got your box on lock. Especially when I sold this skateboard. I wish I took a photo of it. See, I don't even think about stuff like that. I actually had to Frankenstein a box for this thing, and it looked pretty crazy. Next up, we have my private label stuff. I do private label stuff. I don't really talk about that too much. I do a lot of private label stuff that I create. I made these Bitcoin pins, and these have sold over the years consistently. So if you guys do private label stuff, definitely look into doing private label stuff, because it's pretty good income and stuff like that. Yeah, Tracy's saying she pulls her hair out listing clothing, but it's worth it. It's totally worth it. Like, I know people that do amazing business selling clothes, and I'm not knocking them at all. For me personally, I just can't. I just find it utterly boring, and I cannot do it. I have, like I said, I do this part-time, so I want to. Whoa, we got some gardeners out here. And we got some couple off-topic subjects. Let's see. Tracy's asking, got approved for PayPal working capital loan yesterday. I've done that. It's amazing. The only thing that I hate is when you're still owed money on the loan. And I definitely highly suggest you doing the 30%. You know, everyone's money situation's different, but the 30% one of the PayPal working capital loan, the fees will be less. So I definitely highly suggest people, if they do that, to try to pay that off as fast as they can. Don't use a PayPal working capital loan to just pay bills and stuff. Use it actually for working capital, because you're going to be hating it, you know, down the road when your eBay's taking, or PayPal's taking 30% off everything you sell. So there's that. Nick the Islander is asking, do you ship things from home or go to the post office? I pack stuff at home and go to the post office and drop it off. And there's that. So everyone, I hope you saw some things that you maybe didn't know about, things you learned about. If you have any questions or anything, please leave them in the comment below. Thank you for everyone watching. Please click the subscribe button. Click the bell if you want to be part of the notification crew, where you'll get emails when I go live. And we're going to be doing a lot more live shows and a lot more content very soon. Definitely. I'm really stoked about the YouTube channel and its growth and everything. So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff with that. Shout out to 19th Vintage. We're going to be doing some crazy stuff with him and bring you guys some higher quality videos and stuff. So there is that. So I really appreciate it. Click the like button if you enjoyed this video, and keep selling, keep listing. That's all you got to do to be successful on eBay. Do your research, list all the time, ship promptly, and you'll be good. All right, guys. I am signing off.